Welcome to Loco Gringo Mexico, where we can take you beyond the usual on your vacation. Each week we talk with amazing locals who know the Riviera Maya and Yucatan like only locals can. Get real tips to real places, insights on the local scene, culture, and cuisine from a local's perspective. So pour yourself a margarita, mezcal, or tequila, grab yourself a comfy chair, and let's get the show going.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. So glad to have you. My name's Kay Walton, your host of Loco Gringo Mexico. Well, hang on to your sombreros, everybody, because we're going to be talking to an absolutely crazy woman. And I mean that with all due respect. She's fabulous. Margo Guenther of the Feel Good Way in Tulum. She's a masseuse and physical therapist. Margo has been in Tulum tons of years, and we're going to be doing a series of shows with her because she is just a phenomenal wealth of information. She's also really fun to talk to. And if you didn't hear our first show with her, we talked to her about a year or so ago. We gave a lot of background about Margo. We'll have links on today's show notes for our first interview with her. But she's going to be kind of a guest for the next several shows, talking about some great places in Tulum. And today we're going to be talking about the Tulum Pueblo and some of the hottest restaurants and greatest places you don't want to miss. This episode is brought to you by Buy Playa. You know, lots of people ask us for information and help when it comes to real estate, whether they're looking for retirement, an investment property, or maybe they're looking to relocate to the area. And we refer them over to our friends at Buy Playa. The folks at Buy Playa we've known for years, and they'll make sure that you, the buyer, are fully protected and informed when it comes to buying real estate. So if you're looking to buy a piece of paradise, check out our friends at buyplaya.com. Hey, Margo, how's it going?
Okay, wow, this is so cool. I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for asking me to do this.
Hey, you know, I think it's been maybe not quite a year since we did your first interview.
Well, I think it was actually a year ago since it aired on the website.
Oh,
so it must have been a little more than a year since we actually did this.
Oh, man, that's it. Well, I'm so glad that we could find time where we could catch up and talk about Tulum and what's going on in your world and everything that's happening. So catch me up, girl.
Well, this is just another example of the miracle of Facebook. It was me having that come up in my Facebook memories that it was a year ago that got us talking about it again. So I guess we have to be thankful for these reminders that come unbidden in our world.
I know. I know.
It seems like a million years ago, honestly.
I know. It seems like forever, and we probably more than we know. We've probably passed each other either on the street or on the highway or something like that a bunch of times since then. And we still thank God for Facebook. Otherwise, we'd miss each other.
Well, I'm still looking forward to our taco date.
I know.
But, you know, that's a good place to start. Even the taco world is changing in Tulum.
No, tell me it's not so there's new tacos?
No, well, yes, of course, there's new stuff every day. You know, one of the things that is true about Tulum is that it is changing so fast. I just can't even believe how fast it's happening. They're estimating that our population now is between 30 and 40,000 people. And I think that's a pretty big geographic area. I think it maybe even includes Acoma and all that in that. But, you know, when I moved here, it was like 3,000 people and mostly was taco places. So, I am still enjoying some of my original taco places, one of which we talked about last time, which is Chiapaneco's.
I love that place.
There's actually two Chiapanecos in Tulum. There's Antojitos Chiapanecos, which is the taco place on the main highway. But they moved last week. They moved from the location that they've been in for at least 11 years, because that's where they were when I met them. And they have moved just to the corner of that same street. So if you are walking south on the main street of Tulum, they are, of course, on your right. and you just go another half a block down, and they're on the corner. And it's kind of an interesting location. It's been a million things since I've lived here. Most recently, it was like a Mexican place that had chicken and ribs and stuff that. But they've taken over a couple of the buildings on that street, and so they have a lot more indoor seating. And thank goodness it's got a cement roof. The last place that they've been in for so long had one of those tar paper roofs. And honestly, the smell of the kind of, I don't know, it smelled like diesel or something inside there. So I never would eat inside. I always sat on the outside on the street. But their new place is all brightly painted, and it's got a nice seating area inside and tables on the side street. So it's on the corner. So when you're going to go there, if you're just ordering your tacos to go, you still stand on the corner on the main highway and put in your order and wait there till they give you your tacos. Or you can go inside there on the main avenue, or you can go inside there on the side street. But one of the things I really like about the new place, I just ate there last night, so I'm still excited. Is the little ladies that are the heart and soul of Chiapanecos, which, so Chiapanecos is tacos, and their main thing is the El Pastor, which is that spit of meat that goes around and around, that's been seasoned and cooks all day and stuff like that. So the ladies that used to be kind of inside and you didn't really get to see them, now they're right on the street, and so you really get to see the magic that they're doing.
Wow, that's great. So it would be on the. I want to point out to our listeners, we're looking at the south side. If you don't know where Chiapanecos was and the corners, look for the Campanella Creamery, which is ice cream. Okay. You go there after tacos. So you look for Campanella Creamery, which will be on the right-hand side, and the new Chiapanecos location is going to be maybe not even a half block down to the south. So you're going to walk to the south like you're going to go walk towards Chetumal, that's south, and you'll find the new location.
Another good landmark is the bus station. So the bus station is on that same side of the street. So you walk one more block, and that's where it used to be, and a half more block, and that's where it is. And I hate using this as a reference point because I was so disappointed when it opened. I know what you're going to say. It's across the street from Subway.
Oh, no. It's also across from Doña Tina's, which is on the south side.
It's right by Doña Tina's. Exactly.
Right by Doña Tina's, and which I've been eating there for 20 years or so.
I love that you brought up Doña Tina's because it's one of the things that I try not to say out loud because it's such an awesome place. But I have some friends here that are Mayan that grew up here as little kids. And as little kids, they remember Doña Tina's as being the only restaurant in Tulum.
Yep.
And it's still there, and Doña Tina is still there. And what I usually order when I go in there is whatever's on special. They have a special every day, and so that means Doña's in the kitchen cooking something up in a pot, and that's what's going to be the special of the day. And so that's what I usually get. And they actually make good cocktails, too.
Oh, they even have cocktails now. I was happy if I got a cold Coke when I used to go there. The other thing, and I know Gary always loved, was their caldo, which is their soup.
Oh, yeah.
He always loves it. That was the one thing he always ordered every time we go to Doña Tina's was the caldo.
Yeah, the caldo, which means soup, basically, a clear soup. And yes, absolutely fantastic. I love Doña Tina's. I don't live too far from there. That's kind of my neighborhood.
Cool. Wow.
And that's one of the things that's really changing is my neighborhood. So I live south of there. So if you keep going south, we used to think of Doña Tina's as basically the end of town, but that's really changed since I've lived here. And so one of the things that has always been kind of a landmark, I live on the jungle side of the highway, about 10 blocks off of the main avenue. And so the restaurants that I used to have on the main avenue that I considered my neighborhood were El Camellos and El Camellos, when I first started going there, was a sleepy little pescaderia, which means fish restaurant. And my musician friends and I used to go in there in the afternoons and drink micheladas and eat ceviche, and they'd bring their guitars. And we'd be there all day sometimes, and we'd be the only ones there. And this is a good example of the power of the kind of thing that you and I are doing, Kay, is in those days I was pretty popular online with the people that were coming to Tulum. And I used to be pretty secretive about some of my favorite places. And some of them I would tell you once you got here, but I might not blab about them online. And so then this one girl came down, and she spent 2 months. And I met her when she first got here, and I told her all my favorite places. And then she actually published a list of Margo's favorite places in Tulum. And that list became something that every New Yorker who came to Tulum followed to the letter. And El Camellos was at the top of it. And now you have to wait in line to go. They've expanded 4 times, and now you have to stand in line to go to El Camellos. Pretty much year-round, any time of day.
It's worth the wait. The ceviche is great.
It is worth the wait. It is worth the wait. And my favorite thing there is the camarones a la diabla, which is spicy shrimp. Oh, my God. They make the best spicy shrimp in Tulum. And,
is that
I don't even sound like a boozy kind of girl, but they also make really good cocktails.
now, let me wait. I want to ask about these Shrimp Diablo. Are they?
They use top.
Wait,
sorry,
they
use top shelf booze in their well drinks.
I really got to laugh about that. So wait, I want to back up about the Shrimp Diablo. Are they breaded, sautéed? Is it
no,
spicy
they're not.
Ceviche?
What it is they are sautéed, and then there's a sauce that goes with it that is, everybody makes a la diabla different. But theirs is kind of a clear sauce with tomatoes and onions and chilies / peppers in Gringo world. And, it's kind of a tomatoey clear sauce. And oh man, it is so good.
I have to try,
so good. Now, sometimes people say a la diabla. It's more of like a mayonnaise kind of sauce, but theirs is more of a really clear, good veggies sauce. It's really good. I always order of it, and I can only eat half of it. And then I take what comes on the plate is rice and salad and beans and all that, and I mix it all together, and then the next day I eat it on top of salad, cold, and oh man, it's so good.
And they have cocktails. There we go.
Yeah.
There's a new thing.
And Camellos is totally worth the wait. And it's funny because I did avoid it for a couple of years just because it was so crowded, and there are other pescaderias in town besides that one. And then I went there again with some friends, and I looked around, and it was so different than how I remembered it and everything. But I made this conscious thought, if I had never been here before, I would be so glad I'm here. It really is the best in town. It's really, really good. So then the other one that's been in my neighborhood for a long time or not a long time, but 6 or 7 years, is Aguachiles. And Aguachiles, what Aguachiles is as a dish is a type of ceviche that they make in the north of Mexico. So instead of just tomatoes and onions and lime, the Aguachiles has some cucumber and carrot and stuff like that in it. So that's what their name is referring to. And they have Aguachiles, they have ceviches, they have, but they also have tacos and tostadas. And it's a big place. They call themselves a what do they call it? Quagmalada or something like that, which basically means a kawama is one of those great big beers that you can buy. And so that's kind of their specialty. And they have a lot of beers, and they have They have a lot of tequilas, and okay, so they have good cocktails too. Okay, we're going to talk about cocktails. But what I like to do there is you can order the ceviches and stuff, and it's affordable and everything. But even more affordable are their tacos and their tostadas. And they have really good salsas that they bring to the table in like ketchup squeeze bottles. And when you're waiting for your order to come, they bring you some tostadas and all these salsas. And so you're practically full before your food even comes. And so I can go there and I can order a tostada and a taco and a michelada is usually what I get there. But they also have tamarindo and Jamaica, which are traditional Mexican drinks, which I really enjoy. And I can be out of there for $5 or $6.
Nice.
So that's a really good deal that it's right there in my neighborhood. So those were the two that have always been in my neighborhood. But one of the things that's interesting that's changing about Tulum is for many years they've been talking about pushing through another road that goes to the beach. Because at this time, there's only one road from town that goes to the beach. And what a lot of people don't know the first time that they come here is that town is very separate from the beach. And so by only having one road that goes to the beach, it gets kind of crowded.
Yeah.
And there's only one entry point. So no matter where you're going on the beach road, you have to go that one way. Well, this new road is going to be an extension of Avenida Cuculcan.
Which one's Cuculcan?
Cuculcan is the road that El Camellos is on the corner of.
Oh, okay. So it's the road. It would be a road from the south side of town going to the beach.
Yep. And so when it goes through, it's going to go through and it'll come out sort of by El Cabano on the beach.
Oh, okay.
So it'll avoid having to go by all that Papaya Playa and what I call Little Beach Town where Mateos and Zamas is and all that. And you'll come out fairly far down the beach at that point. Now, so that's been in the works, and people have been talking about it for actually many, many years now. And that road has become a very popular place for people to buy lots and build houses and stuff all the way down it. I actually haven't been all the way down it for several years now. Last time I went down it, you could go pretty far on a really good paved road, and then it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until you actually got to a place where I had to walk my bike. And when I got off my bike at that point, you could hear the ocean and you could hear generators from some of the beach places. So it's really, you can get pretty far down there. But from what I hear now is that the road is going further down, and there's a lot of people who are saying, yes, it's going to happen very soon. So
that'll be interesting.
We hear rumors like that all the time, and I'll believe it when I see it. But the result of other people believing that it's happening is my part of town, the highway in the area that we've just been talking about, has just gotten to be the hip, cool part of Tulum, which is great for me because in 5 minutes, I can now be in a bunch of really great restaurants that are banking on the fact that road is going to go through. And even whether or not it goes through, Tulum is expanding and expanding and expanding. So they're already very popular and very well used, even though they're new. So one of my favorites of these new restaurants is called Primitivo. And the area that we're talking about, just to get us back into where we are, is so you go south on the main highway through all the way through Tulum, go past Subway and past the little hospital and keep going. And then you'll see El Camellos on your left.
Yep.
And you'll see Aguachiles on the next corner. And then the next corner, if you take a left, there's a great pizza place called Manglar. It's about a block and a half down that road. And their pizzas are like 100 pesos or something like that for a whole pizza. And they're really good pizza. Okay, so now go back out to the highway. And just before that, on the left, is a place called Coco's. Now, Coco's has a place on the beach. It's mostly been known as one of the more affordable hotels on the beach.
Yep.
And they recently took over Retiro Maya, which was next door. And so now most of Retiro Maya is part of Coco's. But they also have a restaurant on the beach road. I don't even remember what it's called, but it's a pizza place mostly.
Is it Diabolo?
It starts with a J.
Oh, it starts with a J. Okay. I don't know.
I
That was the one. That was
called.
just one. I think that's down around where Coco's is. So that was why I asked about Diabolo.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it, honey. I'll think of it.
They built a place.
So they built a place in town, and it's on the left side of the road as you're heading south. And what I remember it being was a vivero, which means a nursery where they sell plants. And then quite a few years ago, I think 5 or 6 years ago, they built this beautiful giant palapa, and it was a place that had Mayan food. It was very similar to the kind of food that you can get in Merida and that area, but it was only there for a couple of years, and then it's been sitting empty for a few years. So Coco's bought this whole, I don't know if they bought it, but they took over this whole nursery area, and they've put in, I think, 14 really cute little cabanas. Of course, the gardens are gorgeous because it used to be a nursery. And they put in this beautiful pool, and then now they have this restaurant that is in this amazing giant palapa. And they have ceviches and fish, and I don't really remember their whole menu, but they've got and I think they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner since they have this hotel there as well. So now directly across from that is my favorite, and it's called Primitivo. And it is very hard to find because they don't have much of a sign on the highway. The only way you can see it is there's an opening in a fence that has some kind of pretty bamboo weaving as the entrance. And so you go through this entrance and you walk in, and you just, oh my God, it's so beautiful, Kay. So it's a big lot, and one part of it is just like a big grassy area with some hammocks in it, and one of the things that they have a lot of is the cactus that's really popular here that has the big white flowers that bloom every once in a while.
I've seen a lot of those in Puerto Morelos, yeah.
So they have a lot of those in there, and for some reason they seem to be blooming most of the time. I'm not sure how they do that, but it's really beautiful, and they've got you. So you walk in, but then the restaurant itself, they brought in a bunch of people from Costa Rica, and they built this structure out of bamboo. It took them 3 months to do it. And it's just like something that you see in a movie, and you just go, "Oh my God, I want to go there." It's like it's like this. It looks like a fantasy. It doesn't even really look real. Just the way they've woven all this bamboo to make this dome over what is the kitchen, and then they've extended the roof out in sort of palapa style, but instead of a palapa, it's all made out of bamboo. And so in the main restaurant area, you actually sit on the floor. They've got super comfortable cushions to sit on, and then they've angled the very short wall around it so that you can lean back on it very comfortably with a cushion. And so each table is like a big table, and they're low to the ground, so sitting at it is the right way to do it. And if you have a group of people, a table will fit about 10 people around it. Or if there's just a couple of you, they just kind of put you over on the corner of the table, and that's your space. And then they also have out on the lawn, they have regular chairs and tables that you can sit at. And one of the things that's really unique about Primitivo is during the day, they have 2 menus. And one of those menus is from a restaurant down on the beach called Raw Love. So Raw Love is just kind of a pop-up restaurant that's inside the Hotel Ahau, but it's not the Ahau restaurant. It's a little bit further north, in kind of behind their cabanas. Oh, and what Raw Love is a raw vegan restaurant, which, you know, I'm okay with raw and I'm okay with vegan. I'm more of a taco kind of girl, but I got to tell you, Raw Love is amazing. I don't know how they do what they do and such, but one of my favorite things on their menu is linguine with Alfredo sauce. Now you have to remember it's raw and it's vegan. So the linguine is zucchini and the sauce is really creamy and it reminds you of cheese. But the main ingredients are cashews and avocado and nutritional yeast. And it's phenomenal. I mean, it is really, really good. And then they have also really great desserts and they have really great smoothies and stuff like that. And so during the day at Primitivo, they are serving the same food as they do at Raw Love as one of their menus. Nice. And one of the other cool things about that is that means that all their coconut milk is fresh made from coconuts on site. And so when they're making you a smoothie with coconut milk or a coffee with coconut milk or something like that, they made the coconut milk. They didn't just open up a box and pour it in, right? Mm-hmm. And then, so they have this Raw Love menu during the day, but also during the day they have their regular Primitivo menu, which is, I want to call it, we need to come up with a name for this kind of food because it's all over Tulum now. And it's pretty, and it's healthy, and it's very hip. And so, for example, my favorite thing on their menu is they have ribeye tacos. So the tortilla is handmade, and then they put this really beautiful, creamy avocado sauce on the tortilla, and then they take a big handful of ribeye that they've cooked over their open fire and put that on it. And one of the things I like about it is they don't trim out the fat, because I like eat a ribeye because the fat is the best part. Yep. So some places they cut all the fat out and just put the meat on there. But at Primitivo, it's the way ribeye should be. And they put a big handful of that on it. And then there's all these pretty leaves on top of that, you know, maybe some arugula and some other kinds of lettuces, and then it's got some sprouts on top of that, and then maybe some Mayan pink onions on top of that, you know, so it's really pretty. Not only is it fantastic, it's really pretty. And then it comes with this dynamite salsa. And that taco, which is almost enough to feed me a meal, is 60 pesos. That's about, great. What, $3?
Yeah, so, about a little more than $3, $3.50.
Yeah, which I think is a pretty good price for what I do. I mean, that's probably less than you get a burger at McDonald's, right? And they have, of course, more expensive stuff, and they have but that's a good example of what they have. They also have a large meat menu, and they have a grill right there, and they've got this guy that, you know, makes a big show out of, you know, getting the fire high and all that kind of stuff. They've got a lot of fish on their menu, and they have some really good wines on their menu and some really good cocktails on their menu. And all their cocktails are like served with really fresh juices that they made themselves. And, you know, so it's just a beautiful place. And the food is really good. I keep threatening to just bring my hammock there and move in and just tell them to feed me 3 times a day. And it's actually on the main highway. But if you go through a little opening in the back wall of that, you go into their hotel, which is Agua Viva. And Agua Viva, I had always heard, was really, really expensive. I thought it was one of those like $300 a night hotels. But as it turns out, that's not true. Some of their rooms are as low as $80 a night, and their most expensive rooms, I think, are $120 a night. And again, it's a big piece of real estate, and they've got a beautiful pool, and they've got gorgeous hangout places. They have a temazcal there, which is the Mexican version of a sweat lodge. And there's a lot of bamboo also inside Agua Viva. So, wow, I'm a fan, obviously, of Primitivo. So,
yeah, no,
if you're looking for me, that's where I'll be.
That's exactly. Well, I know you're going to be anywhere where they're serving cocktails after this conversation. Well, are you inspired now to move down here? Do you want to move down here and have a little place of your own? Well, then you need to talk to our friends at Buy Playa. You know, they have a friendly and knowledgeable international staff. They speak lots of languages, and they are known as being a buyer's agent. Well, what does that mean? That means they are only going to show you and sell you properties they know that have escrituras. An escritura is a title. And it's part of their due diligence to make sure the title is clear, there's no liens, and that the person who's selling the property is actually the owner. Buy Playa works with lawyers that specialize in fideicomisos, which is a Mexican trust. You may have heard of it already before. And they can address things such as capital gains problems immediately and right up front, so that you have no surprises along the way to closing. So contact our friends at Buy Playa at buyplaya.com. Well, thanks for tuning in today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. But before you go, I just wanted to remind you that we covered a lot of territory with Margo. So visit today's show notes at locogringo.com/podcasts. And if you're looking for maybe a place that isn't in Tulum, a restaurant, an activity, or something like that, please reach out to our concierge, Paulina, concierge@locogringo.com. You can email her, and she can help you with all sorts of fun stuff here in the Riviera Maya.
Thanks for listening. If you like the show, be sure to subscribe. For links, show notes, and more information, head on over to locogringo.com or give us a call toll-free at 800-478-0081.
Porque se tragó la luna, estaba enferma la rana. Su madre soba que soba, dedos de pluma la panza. Pensó ranita que luna era una toronja blanca. Y aunque la luna es de leche, la leche estaba cortada. Croa, croa, dedos de pluma. Croa, croa, dedos de agua. Croa, croa, dedos de pluma. Croa, croa.